Hi, this is my first go at the business model canvas for the element of wellbeing teams that's the preventative service, the one-to-one service. So if we start over here with customer segments, I think initially, although we might be working with self-funders, I think in the future the customer segments are CCGs and GPs supporting people with long-term conditions, and therefore councils supporting people with long-term conditions. Because we know from social prescribing that 20% of people need something more than medicine, and 5% of people are described as frequent flyers, and those are big priorities for CCGs and GPs. And councils need to work with health better to get people out of hospital as soon as possible and avoid expensive care home placements, and want to build community capacity. Public health want to have an impact on people's health and their loneliness. And of course, people with long-term conditions, older people and their families, self-funders, are asking the questions, how can I grow old well? What support's available? And if I don't want social care or end up in a care home, what is there for me? And fundamentally, the question we're asking is, how can we build abundant communities where we all live well together? So then in terms of customer relationships, this is both B2B and B2C. So you'd have a dedicated personal wellbeing advisor who would also be developing a personal relationship with you and can introduce you to support from wellbeing teams. And we've got community connectors, GPs and in the community, and the wellbeing leader developing strategic relationships. So the relationships we have would be directly with an individual and both wellbeing leader and community connector, linking with GPs, community, local authorities and stakeholders. The channels are face-to-face, Zoom and closed social media groups. So we'd use Zoom and closed social media groups as additional ways to stay in touch with people who we're supporting. The value propositions are, and I've got a separate film about this, we identify what matters to you, your gifts, your problems, priorities, and explore creative ways to meet that. We provide practical support to help you live well at home, tech, people, rehab. We connect you with people, opportunities in the community to achieve your personal priorities, to connect around shared interests and to contribute and volunteer, and therefore going further than social prescribing goes at the moment. We look at what you want to do or contribute does not exist in the community. We help create that. And we create a monthly community programme of opportunities based on both what's available and what we can create. For example, putting on a happiness course and linking people with volunteer drivers to help them get to the places that they want to get to. Fundamentally, we're offering purpose-driven local employment and empowerment through self-managing teams. We're offering work that works for people who we employ, that's value-based with career progression, development and learning. We replace the traditional offers of home care, social prescribing, enablement and community development. And we build and create individual and community capacity, decreasing loneliness, increasing capacity, decreasing dependency, decreasing GP visits and increasing health and well-being. So to achieve that, the key activities are the initial conversation that we have with people and planning together and delivering the support and solutions that people need, including doing monthly reviews. We connect people to what's happening in the community. That's part of the element of social prescribing. We have a team of wellbeing workers who coordinate episodes of care, and we create a monthly programme of community events and activities that people can be part of. The most important resources are recruiting great people, individual equipment, for example, smartphones, PPE and jackets, and having a national team and support team to support the circles, to support the teams. Our key partners, there's an organisation called HMRC in Rochdale that offer something called Circle, volunteer drivers and a handyman scheme. So they've got the very, very best way of organising that. Access are our technology partners, community circles as well, and simply suppliers of PPE, jackets and phones. And then the cost structure. So older people and their families, we're hoping that this can take place on a subscription model and they buy additional services. We're hoping we get joint funding based on delivering outcomes, moving from an hourly rate to delivering contracts in the same way that health visiting happens at the moment, so place-based commissioning. And self-funders and people with personal budgets, an outcome-based costed model and or subscription. And the revenue streams initially will be people with personal budgets from health or social care or self-funders. Soon we'll be able to demonstrate to CCGs, councils and public health the benefits that we are bringing. And we would have a community membership scheme that is delivered by Circle. It includes paying for volunteer drivers and also utilising grants and bids. Obviously we need to do significant financial modelling about this, but we've got some opportunities to test this out. So in Oxfordshire we could test out doing it self-funders. Not sure we can test out Rehab, but we can test out Trusted Assessor, we can test out Circle, and also social prescribing elements of it. In Thurrock, Rehab, Circle and social prescribing, and Wigan perhaps Circle and social prescribing.